Hello, everybody. This is Ghost Hunter 385. I am back with another video, more Warcraft 3, and another topic for everybody.
The Murlocs used to be peaceful, but
Hey
lately
man,
they've been
how you
catching
doing?
us and using us
Hey
for
man, check out the
sacrifices.
video. Like
Sacrifices?
the video,
To
subscribe,
what?
ring the bell, man.
A long time ago, they started
The
worshiping
war chief
some
calls,
witch.
man.
They
I've
say
got to
she
go.
lives under the ocean.
Enjoy.
And if they don't make the sacrifices,
Yes,
she'll
my
destroy
character
this
work
island.
needs a
Well,
bit of
someone should have
work,
told
but
them that
you know,
orcs don't
overall it
scare
could be
that
worse.
Now,
But
let's
anyway,
get out of
let's
here.
get into today's topic. And today's topic is how American story writing has basically gone the proverbial toilet. You know, it's like,
your time has come.
and then you hear the whoosh, basically. Now,
For doom,
people will sit here and say, Ghost Hunter, no, it's not gone down the toilet. It's just become more. What's the nicest way to say this?
the spirits
More
are
nicer,
restless.
including more stories, if you will, here.
From
Okay,
Canva, War
look.
Chief. Let's get on with
If
it.
we're going to talk about modern movies, let's go with the last 8
None
or
will
so
survive.
years here. It's been nothing but garbage.
For honor.
Outside of most of the Marvel movies and a few notable exceptions here,
Yes.
it's all been terrible. Literally, it's been terrible.
Naros.
They've destroyed
None will
the
survive.
cinematic version for for Detective Comics, aka DC Comics. I mean, it's just bad. I mean, they couldn't even get Superman's suit right for after
Your
his
time has
death
come.
in
Thanks,
it's
man.
not the
what
that's
I did
it.
for
Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice.
For honor.
They couldn't even get his suit right. Not to mention the fact, by comic book continuity, Superman didn't
will
actually
survive.
die. He was in a near-death state, and he basically went into a coma, and it took him some time to recover, if you want to be technical.
Yes.
Superman did not actually die by Doomsday's hand.
Your
Doomsday's
time
the only
has
thing that's
come.
brought him closest to death, outside of someone using
Your time
very
has come.
specific and very concentrated kryptonite weaponry. Has
Lobrigar,
Superman
no God.
ever been ended in comic books here, to be truthfully honest. And they
For honor.
basically messed up the
Yes.
entire DC universe here
None
for the
will
big screen.
survive.
I mean, they couldn't even have Shazam go and deal with Black Adam. Because in the
Yes.
comic books, again,
For honor.
it's always Shazam
Dabu.
who's always been Dark
This is our chance.
Dark
Let's make a break
Adam's
for it.
biggest problem, because they use the same power source. For those of you who don't know that, Shazam and Dark Adam
fighting, men.
share
We're
a
almost
same
there.
power source here. Yes, it's true.
Yes.
Then, you know, what else have they been doing? Oh yeah,
Yes.
they've been trying to revive old movie series, basically here, to capitalize on that. They've
honor.
basically done a soft reboot of Rocky with the Creed series, except instead of it being about Rocky or Rocky's son being the boxer, instead it's about the son of Apollo Creed stepping up and boxing, but Rocky's there, but instead of it being Rocky, it's about Creed, you know, fulfilling his father's legacy, if you will, here.
Yeah.
Now, it's a good story here, mind you, but where did this story start? It technically started
Dabu.
with Rocky. Rocky Balboa. And it's just a continuation of the Rocky series. It's just now about the son of Apollo Creed. This is not an original movie.
For honor.
All this
Dabu.
is fully here.
Yes.
All this is
For honor.
is
For
soft
honor.
reboot after soft
Yes.
reboot. There's nothing
Dabu.
new coming out of Hollywood. And for people who talk about things like Barbie and the new Ghostbusters, guess what? The all-female version of the
Dabu.
Ghostbusters movie was heralded
Your
by
time has
politically
come.
active women, aka effeminists, you know, that were heralded as
I knew
a
you'd
great
fight us,
movie.
War Chief. The spirits are restless.
Don't even get me started on the Birds of Prey
None
movie,
will survive.
because the biggest lie about that movie is the fact
Yes.
that for Harley Quinn to
Doomhammer.
get free of the
Inventory is
Joker
full.
here, literally, to get free of the Joker
Dabu.
in most comic book continuities, two
For
things has
honor.
to happen. One, Mr. J kicks the
Yes.
bucket, and he don't come back at all. He kicks the bucket, folks. He literally has to kick the bucket.
Dabu.
One, for Harley to reform
For
into
honor.
anti-hero slash
Yes.
quasi-superhero.
Your time has come.
No ands, ifs, or buts. And for the other condition in comic book continuity, Harley has to realize
None will
just
survive.
how bad Joker
Look now.
is. And that's the
We're under
only other way
attack.
she
Look now.
ever gets free of him,
Yes.
more or less here.
These humans must have put up a fight.
Only way.
Too bad
only
it wasn't
way.
enough.
For honor.
Now, Harley does get compelled to work with
under attack.
with Task Force
Dabu.
X, also known as the Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Yes, Harley can be compelled to work with them. Doesn't necessarily mean she's doing it
Doomhammer.
willingly.
For honor.
So, the Birds of Prey movie was just not that great, basically. You know, the thing that was actually sad is that the team that comprises
Time has
of
come.
the Birds of Prey,
Yes.
which is Black Canary, Huntress, and one more, I think Zatanna off the top of my
Dabu.
head, and I think I'm wrong. Could be,
For honor.
could not be. But the point is that the Birds of Prey as a team, there is way more depth to that team
Dabu.
than the emancipation of the fabulous
None
Harley
will survive.
Quinzel, basically.
Yes.
I hate to be that guy. Well, no, scratch that. I
honor.
don't hate to be that guy. I hate to be the
Dabu.
guy to burst the bubble here. You know, think about it for a minute.
Dabu.
Almost everything that has come out is either a soft reboot of a beloved series,
For honor.
or it's comic book
Yes.
based from
Yes.
DC or Marvel.
Your time has come.
And what else? Oh yeah, movies that are so uninspiring and so unloved that they don't even get recognition for being a movie. Turning Red, as an example here, was
I dedicate
so
my power to the
unliked
Horde.
The War Chief.
with the practice screenings
I
that
am
Disney
the
didn't
War
even
Chief.
drop it in theaters. They dropped it on Disney Plus.
Dabu.
They literally dropped
For
that
honor.
movie on Disney Plus when more than likely they wanted to put it in theaters.
Yes.
That's how that
Dabu.
tells you just how bad things
For
have
honor.
gone. And you know what's one of the closest things that actually gets to a level of showing
Yes.
American prestige in writing and storytelling is Game of Thrones
For honor.
when you really think about it. Ghost Hunter. It can't be Game of Thrones. George R.R. Martin wrote a series of books that, if memory serves off the top of my head, was called the Song of Fire and Ice series,
Hey,
basically.
Chief Man,
And
it
it's called
looked like
Game
there
of
be a
and it's called
passageway
Game
here.
of Thrones.
Maybe we find a way out.
And
Let's see if
so
we can break
far,
through these boulders.
that has been
You come just
the
in
U.S.'s
time. Get on with
leading
it.
books outside of the classic novels from like Stephen King and Rice and other books. I mean, you have woke people trying to shut down a lot of the older books because they're quote-unquote racist, when it's like, at the time, sadly that was true. When my father was born in 1961 here, folks. 1961. As a little boy, right around 5 years old, what does he remember? He remembers bathrooms, men, women, colored. You don't just skip what's been going on and whitewash it away from history. It happened. It's kind of bad that it happened, but it takes time for attitude and minds to change here. Sad to say that, but it's the God's honest truth here. Opinions and thoughts need time to change, and if you force the change, it technically breeds more resistance here. But basically, George R.R. Martin's books and now HBO series technically now is the leading series of the fact that America still has a literary bone, an artistic bone in its body, without succumbing to woke cancel culture here.
Your time has come.
Excuse me.
None will survive.
But the point here is that it's taking all of this,
Let's get on
to
with
sit
it.
here and say, how come Hollywood's not making money? Because they're turning out. What are they turning out here? Oh yeah, they're turning out woke garbage that nobody likes, nobody wants to see, outside of the people who are like, oh, this fits my political ideology. I'm going to watch this movie, more or less.
Can I help? Understood.
You know, when I was growing up here, there was one movie that I really loved. And, did I really enjoy Lilo and Stitch? Oh, heck yeah. I love that little crazy blue alien. He was awesome. Correct myself here. He is awesome. Stitch is, in my opinion, one of the best written characters of the 2000s era. But there was actually one movie that outclassed it. And you want to know what that movie was?
We have no time to lose.
It was Treasure Planet. No, excuse me, not was, is Treasure Planet. And why is Treasure Planet
I believe these three fish creatures are helping maintain
so much better? It's not that Treasure Planet was so much better. It's the fact that it was written better. Lilo and Stitch was good for little kids stuff. But Treasure Planet was written more for a mature adult audience.
Perhaps
And it was way better. I mean, think of this seriously for a minute. When was the last time a
War Chief.
antagonist of the story actually mentored the protagonist and helped lead them down a better life? Seriously, Captain John Silver, I believe John's his first name, but it's also Silver. Captain Silver mentor the protagonist, Jim Arthur Hawkins. Well, no, it's Cleades. Jim Cleades Hawkins. To be better, to do better, to actually carve out his own destiny into the world.
Direct me.
I have yet to see a movie or any TV show where you have the primary antagonist of the show, of the series, actually do that. As for Supernatural, let's get this straight here.
Yes.
Quick caveat here. As for Supernatural, seeing as how the story ended with Chuck basically using everything for his greatest entertainment here, Chuck was not Sam and Dean's mentor. He was their ally when it suited him for the show, and then he became their enemy when he wanted them gone. So technically, it doesn't count here. We haven't seen in the United States that level of writing in a movie in well over, at this stage, 20 years. We have not seen that. And it's disgusting because, holy cow, the animation style was beautiful. It is gorgeous. They filled out the background. They created a steampunk odyssey that defined a generation of people. Not to mention, the theme song for the protagonist was written by one of the leads of the Goo Goo Dolls. And what happens when you bring people like that in? You get the scene from Tarzan, where you had Phil Collins writing, "You'll be in my heart."
Where is that voice coming
That
from?
was good cinema.
we have no
It is
time to
great
wait.
cinema.
This cave
But
is
sadly,
about to
because it
collapse.
tanked at the box office, it doesn't get the love it deserves. We need to go back to that. Less woke, more story, more beauty. But this is Ghost Hunter 385 signing off. I will see everybody in the next video.